Well, hey now, friend, step right in and grab a figure, and welcome to the Pret Pool Channel. Here at the Pret Pool Channel, let's talk about the new action figure I got. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Maybe you might like how it looks, or maybe how it moves with its joints, or maybe you like the stuff it comes with. But no pressure, my friend, just enjoy the show today, right here at the Pret Pool Channel. So go on and give us like, or be bold and click subscribe. After all, it's a free ride to the Pret Pool Channel.
Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Pret Pool. Thank you for clicking on my video. Today we're doing a review on Romankey Ghost Ant, something that I had pre-ordered a couple of months ago. I got this from Bump Us B, so a fairly decent price now from there. So they, as of the filming of this video, they do have this figure in stock. So we're gonna go into this. It's a really cool figure, but they did make some odd or different choices that I think they should have gone a different way with some of them, and some choices they didn't do that I feel they should have. But overall, I'm happy with this figure. So let's get straight into this thing, because there's actually quite a bit to cover, so I'm trying to keep this video short, or shorter. So here we have the box. This is how it comes in. It's a sleeve that you have over the box, comes off. You have another design inside the box, and then inside you have the figure with a bunch of trays. I think it was like 4 trays that this figure came with, but it doesn't have a whole crazy amount of items, so it seems like a lot of trays, but nonetheless it comes with 4 trays. So let's get his items out of the way. He comes with this type of helmet that you can put on top of his head, because it's a helmet, and inside you have a magnet, or it's metal and then the magnet's on his head, but the point is this attaches magnetically to his head. It's really nice design, so which matches the rest of his body. Then he has this kind of back appendage, in which we'll get into a little bit more later, that you go on his back, but it's static, doesn't do, just again, it's just for decoration really, once you put on his back. Then you got some extra little joints in case you snap one, switching back and forth. And then he has his weapons. Now, it could be considered as 3 different weapons, but upon examining my personal thoughts, maybe I'm wrong, it seems to be like maybe the same weapon, but it just kind of progresses and grows into the main weapon how it should be. So you got this, which you can say it's kind of like a dagger, or kind of like a thing, but if you notice this handle, and among the other 2 swords, it's the same exact handle. So it starts off like this, with 3 type of spikes that are glowing red, which makes me believe that this thing is like growing. So then when you get to this one here, it's still the same handle, hilt, and then now you have the hilt. So but it's the same exact design on here. Now it seems like it grew. Okay. And then this I consider will be like the final stage, like the top part all came together and formed this blade. Maybe you don't view it that way. Maybe you think say it's 3 whole different weapons, but to me it just seems like it's just one. It's the same weapon, just that progressively grows into this. And this has a nice red edge to it, and there you go. See if you catch it there. So. But yeah, it's very nice. So it's a nice katana. Okay. So really, that's all the weapons he comes with. He does come with 2 extra arms, or 4 arms, which they do have hands already on them. So I'm gonna take them out of the tray here. He's got this smaller one here, which kind of seems a little wimpy. It's nice. It's got this translucent hand, and it becomes all black over here. But this hand is not posable. This is again static. It will stay like this once you put it on. So you cannot switch hands. You cannot move this hand. It stays like this. Now, if you compare to one of his other hands that's replaceable, like say this expressive open type hand, it's almost the same pose as that. This one is actually a little bit smaller, and you notice it more around this area here. So I don't know why they made this hand smaller than this one. It's supposed to be the same arm. So that's weird. But then he does have a bigger one, which kind of has now extra little appendage on the side. You got this like tendril, whatever, something going on here. And then this is like, he has extra fingers that are added, so it mutated. So, and again, it's translucent towards the end. So it's pretty neat, but just like the other replaceable forearm, this is not movable. So you got that going on. So then he has, for his back, he has 2 holes. And there you can put either this thing that I showed earlier, and you would just kind of put it in there like so. Whoops, fell down. And it's okay looking. I can't get it in right now. Hold on. But one of the things I don't like about this, aside that sometimes it's a little tricky to put on. Okay, I got it on. Okay, so you got it on. But it just sits there. It doesn't do anything relevant. I think this should have had some joints, so that way you can move back and forth or something like that. Maybe I have it upside down. I think it goes this way. There we go. I think it's just the way it should go, maybe. But yeah, it should be. So yeah, it doesn't have any moving parts on here. I think they should have done that with this part. And then you got these 2 smaller parts that also will go in his back, which is like little hooks. Those, they go in, but they fall out fairly easy. So if you're kind of messing around with them, this one went okay. And you can position them how you want. So if you want it down, or if you want it faced up. So you get 2 of those. Then you get this really odd choice. So you get this little magnetic piece. It's pointy, right? And unless you look initially, or you see someone's video like mine, as far as reviewing it, as far as what the purpose of this thing is it goes here. Yep, it goes in this crotch area. So it's a stinger. You want to call it that, it's a stinger that you can magnetically put. So someone who designed this figure said, we really need to have a magnetic stinger between his legs, because we need it. What ant wouldn't have that? So yeah, that was a creative choice. So then you get all these different hands. So you got 2 fist hands, and then you get like 3 sets of open expressive hands. Some are just wide open, some kind of like clawing, some are a little bit more grabby. But he only comes with 1 pair of weapon wielding hands. So as far as these hands, they're a little bit loose. Mine isn't so bad. I think Spicy Duck from X or Twitter, he did his own review. He was having issues on his right hand. Mine doesn't come off too bad. Actually, this one's holding up really nicely. I suggest if you do have an issue, just heat it up a little bit to tighten that grip. And I think it's with this sword that what I consider the mid-stage sword, that it kind of falls out kind of easier. But now, of course, it's proving me wrong. But which is good. I don't mind being wrong if it works to my benefit as far as that. And then he comes with a stand, looks like this. So if you're into stands, you get that. And there's one last item. This is a first for me. Well, aside from the crotch one. But this is definitely something that I've never imagined I would get with a figure. You get gloves. That's right. You get gloves to handle your figure. Now, either they are assuming that we are so professional that we handle our figures with gloves, and we don't want to have fingerprints, and want to be careful because he does also have like little pointy parts to him, which they can poke you quite a little bit, but it's nothing, you know, I've dealt worse. But they give you the gloves. Or maybe they gave you gloves because maybe the figure's poisonous. I don't know. Maybe they figure, hey, this paint stuff is going to kill people, so let's give them gloves just to cover ourselves. No, I doubt it. But then again. So you get that. Those are the items you get. Now let's take a closer look at this guy here. Sculpting and paint and design is amazing on this figure. Hopefully you can pick it up. And when I look at this head sculpt, I see a cross between a Xeno and a Predator, which is a Predalien. You know, aside from not having the dreads in the back, it's to me it's just, you know, it's just a match. Especially if you don't put the magnetic head cap on him. But he's got this really awesome designs all across his body. So if you see here, this is like all the line work, the paint work. So it's just all throughout, and he has this shimmery bluish metallic. I don't know if it's the plastic or the paint, but it just sometimes it kind of makes it a little difficult for my filming now to pick up, especially when I put him standing far away. But yeah, this is definitely an awesome figure. And he does have one other item. This, I don't know what the purpose is. So you take off his chest, and I don't know if these are supposed to be things that he shoots acid or does something with these things, you know, kind of like something like Guyver type deal going on here. I don't know. I'd be just fine if this was just molded like that and wouldn't make a difference. I'm going to keep him this way. I don't see a reason why to have him like this. That doesn't look like organs or anything like that to me. So I don't know what was the purpose, so why they chose to do that. So yeah, definitely some odd choices for me. This isn't so bad. It's okay. That was an odd choice for me. The whole magnetic crotch part is odd. The gloves is interesting. These things here, they're nice, but it would have been nice if they were like posable. So real quick, articulation. His shoulder pads, they do have like a joint, so you can move them out of the way. So if you want to do a T pose, you can do that. Now he doesn't have a whole lot of range. If you look here, there's like a ball joint there, so the plastic only goes that far, which kind of stinks. I think you should go definitely form a complete T. As far as doing like a Van Damme, he does have a little bit of a drop down, so you can now do the Van Damme pose. So at least you do get that. As far as crouching, it's okay. It's nothing crazy, but it's nothing bad. So he gets a decent amount. And then going back, also decent amount. You can't really look back with his neck because of his armor or whatever this is supposed to be. The back blocks it. But as far as looking down, you do get a decent amount of range there. And most of that's going to be from below his neck. Above it, you don't get it doesn't really do much. It's just for turning purposes. So there's that. Now if you put on his magnetic part here, it's going to look like this. So I like him either way is fine with me, but I do like him, kind of prefer a little bit more with like this, just again to push more of that Predalien look. So there's that. So yeah, as far as quality, right out of the box, I didn't have to heat anything. He was kind of ready to play with. Those just on this shoulder was a little tight, so I moved it ever so carefully, and then just heard a little click, which wasn't like a brake click. It was just, it's just, I don't know, from the factory, but it's fine. So other than that, yeah, no issues with this figure out of the box. All right, so let's do some quick comparisons. Let's put here against Savage Crucible, and I feel like this guy would fit very well with the Savage Crucible world, as far as with height, the aesthetics, and so forth. So there's that, and the whole theme. And then we got this guy, big old tiger samurai. And again, since he has kind of like a katana type weapon, I figured he would fit well with that kind of world. All right, so take these two guys out. Now let's put some bugs. Let's go with 4 horsemen, and this guy can either fall into cosmic or mythic legions. This is their tribute to Bazov, although he was really in a cosmic legions world, but he will fit in either one. And then I forgot the name of the company for this guy. Another bug guy, another third party or import, which is a nice looking figure, but it's got its issues as far as joints and so forth. Then we have, let's go mix it up a little bit more. Let's do with Medi Toys Leo. Again, so you want to have them dual with their swords. I think it'll be a nice fit. And just for the heck of it, because she's one of my favorites, Gold Hilder. Okay, and one final comparison. Since I made mention of them, let's put him next to Xeno. And a Pred. And both of these are from NECA. Alright, so my verdict on this, it's a beautiful figure. It's got decent articulation. Could have been better in some areas, especially around the shoulders. I wish if they were going to do like this magnetic part, that it would have included this. Like this would have like been, like in other words, that this would have been one piece, this here. So you just put this whole thing on top, so that way you have the option of having that out of the way, and you can move the head further back. So I would have wished that was more like part of the other helmet. As far as his ankles, so he doesn't really have much ankle rockers because of the sculpting. So he has like these side parts here, so you're not going to get a whole lot of ankle rock with that, unless you position it certain ways. You get a little bit, but yeah, don't count on it though. I don't think that magnetic part that goes here is necessary. No, I feel that's kind of pointless. What else? Chest piece, that could done without it. And I wish they would have given him articulated hands on his extra forearm parts. So that would have been better for me. But yeah, let me know if you got this figure, if you like what you saw with this, if you think it was worth the money, what's being offered in other sites. So yeah, again, I like the figure. Need some improvement on it, but it's definitely a great display piece. So that's what's saving it for me. The accessories, and they could have done better with some of it. Alright guys, so please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys in my next video.